How are you doing?
I am doing okay. I'm doing
Yes,
okay. How about you?
I'm good.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. I know I've got a beard now.
Yeah.
So I have, we'll get right into it. Over this past weekend, I was with my sons and my nephew and nieces,
Okay.
and we were talking about marriage and kids. And I swear to you, none of these people want kids.
No.
Like, none of them.
Okay.
And I'm like, you gotta have. And I was like, well, let me back that up because I don't want to sound like some old Jewish grandmother, like, when you gonna give me a baby,
Yeah.
But they do not seem to want children.
Mm-hmm.
Do yours? Like, you know, I have
No.
kids pretty much same ages.
I don't know that I try to avoid the conversation a little because I don't want to make them feel like they got to make me a grandma.
Okay.
But in the lighthearted conversations, I think it's something that maybe, um, I honestly don't know, and probably because I don't know, it's a difference than our generation. Like I knew, but I don't know if we have had conversations. I think if it crossed their mind and they found the person, they might do the thing, but I don't know if it's leveled into their path and journey of
Mapping out their
accomplishments.
life.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
this
Like
point,
my oldest nephew is 28. He was like, if I get married, I get married. If I don't,
Yeah.
I don't. If I
Yeah.
have kids, I have kids. If I don't, I
Yeah.
don't. Whereas I feel like our generation was like, we were very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want this,
Yeah.
this, almost in this order, almost in probably an obsessive manner, because we were so goal oriented, and maybe they're more aloof, or maybe their goals are different. I don't know.
I don't know. I would not think that it's not a generalization for our generation, but when I look back at my life, I don't know that I was like boom, boom, boom. Like I
You knew
maybe
you wanted kids.
I know I wanted kids one day, but it wasn't like I mapped out directionally a life to do that. Maybe we do it and we don't realize we're doing it. But there are some women that are like, "Oh my gosh, I've been dreaming about this day, the being married since I was a little girl." I did not. I was not like, I want to play dress up in a wedding dress or play.
Okay.
I didn't do any of that. I did
But
probably have
you
doll
knew,
babies.
you saw your life as a mother.
I saw my life that I would one day be a mother. Yeah. And probably the hardest challenge, even though I'm married right now, maybe I knew that was more a part of it that than the other way around. Some people marry and know that kids are a part of marriage. I probably
You
was
were like,
more.
I've got kids, so I better get a husband, right? Like,
Yeah, I
is
think
that what
it.
you're saying?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was a little more clear cut in my
Yeah.
headspace that it was like, yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
you did not ever
Yeah.
dream of the little girl getting married.
No,
You
I was.
knew,
Yeah.
I'm going to have children.
I'm going to have a family, and
Yes.
yes, but I think the order. Yeah, some people absolutely are like, I can be married if I have kids. I have kids. I have friends that were like that. They had kids, great parents, but it was not a part of the recipe of needing to be married or wanting to be married. Where I knew definitely by like a young age that being a mother was on my I want to check the box. Like I had fulfilled something specific when I became a mother. Yeah, I definitely think that.
So I think you said something about you read recently about 30-year-olds.
Yeah, 30 years, like 60% of 30-year-olds don't have kids at
That's
30.
amazing.
So they're either having them
That's
later in life, but
amazing.
30, I had two by 30.
Yeah, I was 31.
Well, 31.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
31. I was pregnant and had a baby, I think, at 31. But I had two kids at 31. I had already had two kids. So
And they don't even think about it.
I don't even.
Like my
yeah,
nephew's 20.
yeah,
There's no
yeah.
woman in
No.
the
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a priority, and I don't know why. I guess
Is
she
it because
actually
they have
did come home.
options,
I think,
exposure?
yeah, and I think you kind of were joking about the poor, the you know what, but when
No,
you said,
that's what I said was
yeah,
lower income people, myself included when I was younger, they have sex early.
Mm.
It's an activity.
something to do.
It's something to do.
Yeah.
This is why if you are poor,
Oh.
well, this is why a lot of people who do have options, affluence, they keep their kids busy.
Yeah, and
They keep their kids in
been
sports
us.
and all
Like
that.
yeah, my kids have been busy with
Yes.
exactly that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes. So you
yeah.
expose them to other things other than just the boredom of having sex.
And I don't even know, even when you think about it, even with boredom, even if it's not boredom, you expose them to things that allow them to have a deeper understanding and meaning for themselves,
Yep.
what makes them happy, and that self-worth component.
Yes, and then their
And,
self-worth doesn't have
yeah.
to be their body.
No, because I absolutely remember, and it's been a while on the stat, but I was like 100% of CEO women all played a sport.
Yes,
Like they
Yeah,
all were,
female sports,
yeah,
they
they were,
dominate,
they
they
were,
kill.
yeah, they were an organized
Yep.
sport, some type of organized sport. So
Yep.
there is a relationship between success in extracurricular activities at
Okay.
school or college or whatever.
So then I get to my other point on a deeper level. Is it tougher now with all of the options we just talked about? Getting married later, waiting to having sex later, girls in sports, girls, you just mentioned 100 top CEOs. Is it more difficult for them to follow the structure of marriage that we all know, which is the man leads, the man follows Christ, the woman follows her husband? He kind of sets the tone for the family, that structure that we all know. Our grandparents, our parents, some of them follow that.
I think generationally.
And you have a daughter, or two daughters.
I have two daughters.
I don't. So
I
yeah.
first of all think I think back to my parents. They were probably already shaking that up a little bit, but before that, obviously, I think my grandparents were probably along that space of thinking. I also think so. I don't know if the shakeup changes that. I think I probably molded and modeled something different, and even in that, probably to some degree, they probably could look at us and still see, some movements and actions and things that may have happened in our lives that allowed us that carried in that tradition or that mindset, like you move with your husband or whatever, that kind of thing. I think they don't think that way based on a lot of what they see, though. So I think if they're in a situation where, let's say, for instance, the mom had the better job, so the mom
Correct.
moved away, and the husband was like, "I'll find some." We know people right now that chase. I didn't say chase, but they moved where their wife moved, right? Because they had a great opportunity and they took it, and that was the right thing. I definitely think this generation has moved away from that thinking a little more so. And whether that is because it's modeled and they thought it was the thing to do and are carrying on the tradition, or they saw it and did not agree with it. Because I think sometimes kids can look at you and go, "I ain't doing that."
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
That ain't for me.
I mean, that's exactly what happened to some degree with my parents. There were some strong takeaways I didn't take away. So, yeah, I don't know. I think
because you definitely had a better car.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna address that right now on this podcast.
Yeah.
I would not compare my situation at all to my parents, and I'll leave it there. Like, you can't say if I'm driving a 2005 or 2007 Honda Pilot, and you're saying my car is better because my husband's driving a 2005 Accord. Come on now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's equally.
You could say, yeah, you can be in a space where you're like, oh, she got the newer car. And that's happened a few times in our relationship. Even now, I mean, we're kind of flipped a little bit. My husband's driving the newer car right now. But it's the same thing. I'm not sitting here thinking now I have a hoopty because he bought a new car.
No.
My situation,
that was just a joke
my mom was not. Yeah, that's probably one of those takeaways, though. I definitely did not enjoy my experiences based on how they set up some of the, finances or not finances, but like my dad did tend to have a nicer car of the two. So we would catch the cab to the grocery store or walk to the grocery store. And yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So I definitely think that was a takeaway for me. Like, don't put yourself in that position. At best, don't put yourself in that position. So I definitely think our kids look at our example and they decide whether they're going to follow it or try something new.
Yeah.
I don't know what your question was. Do we see that in this generation?
I was going to say, speaking just from a biblical standpoint of, we always will say, put God first in your life.
Right.
Like, put God first in your marriage, put God first in your everyday decision making. But that structure, as the man is the head, the guy, the helpmate, I don't know if I had a daughter, if she would have subscribed to that today.
I don't think,
which makes it difficult to.
I don't think I'm trying to think of a situation or example where this generation of people that I know outside even my daughters would look into a situation and go, I want that or I want to do that. I just think kids have so many more options. They're learning different at school. They're learning different things at school.
Their exposure is global.
Yeah, I mean, I literally remember having a classroom conversation at Central where this guy was like, "Yeah, if I'll stay home with my kids, if my wife has a job and it's better than what I can do, or she wants to work and I'll stay home with the kids. No one was saying that when we were growing up.
No, we
And,
would have roasted him.
yeah, and we absolutely, and that core group of people accepted that as a norm. They did not think, what a bum, or you're letting your man or your woman run you. Like, it was agreeable in the group of kids.
And where was this at?
It's at the high school over at Central. The kids that grew, like this
Oh,
generation.
to this generation now.
Yeah. They absolutely are like, if she's got it, I'll be home. Like, and they don't. And I don't think they think it's not masculine for the guy to be at home. I think this generation thinks differently, and I don't know how that structure changes when we talk about the traditionalisms of Christ. But I mean, all of that's loose, right? We got women that are in the pulpit now. We probably didn't grow
true.
up in.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, so I think, good or bad, some of the things are evolving the way maybe God wants it to. I think as long as a family they're together and they're praying about their decisions and they're working as a team, I don't know how I feel. I mean, the tradition of that works if your man's doing that, but if your man's not, then what are you doing? Like, God doesn't want you loosely following nothing if you're not getting direction. So I don't know. I kind of feel a little prickly about it. I think it depends situation even now, and I'm 51. That I think that's what God wants.
Yeah,
scripturally.
because what if you are the man married to the female preacher?
It happens,
right?
Yeah.
So then, are you following her?
Well, I mean, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's more of the teammanship. I think if you look at scripture and all its little pieces of like accountability, for instance, God will say, "Run your house," because the man is held responsible for his people in his house. Correct. Do men take that seriously?
I don't know.
So
I don't know, but I know I've raised pretty. I mean, my sons, they are pretty traditional, I think, in that aspect. Yeah. Like, we joked, and I said, my youngest, I said he'll have a stay-at-home wife.
Your youngest will?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My oldest, I think, is probably going to be, if I sit back and watch these dudes, I think he'll be perfectly fine with a working wife. But I think my youngest absolutely is going to be way more traditional in that aspect. Yeah.
I think this is a generation, I can't call it with any of my kids, whether my son would end up with someone who wanted
as
to, like,
a career.
Yeah.
Like, do you see him having a stay-at-home wife?
I see all of them probably being partnered in career positions, but I don't know. Like, I didn't have that discussion when I met my husband, nor when I got married. I didn't have that discussion like this was the plan. It kind of fell into our lap.
Yeah.
I don't know that I was 23, 24, 25 years old thinking, oh, I'm going to stay at home once we have kids. Never thought about it. It was a logistical thing.
Yeah.
And I think
I never saw it as an option until I got a little older. And I remember when my wife had the first kid, she stayed home not long, but I was like, you don't have to go back to work. I remember thinking, why are you in a hurry to go back to work? There's no rush. We're good.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, I want to go back to work. And then the second time, because her birth was different or easier, it was like, I'm going back to work. Mm-hmm. And grandma took the kid. Like, I just remember thinking then, this is cool. You don't have to go back. I was thinking, just stay home. Don't deal with the rigmarole of the work. Forget that stupid place. But fast forward 25 years later, it is what I would have preferred.
If she stayed home?
Absolutely. I have admitted to my sons, even on Sunday, I did not know, and I should have at that time been more vocal or discovered what I wanted, which would have been a stay-at-home wife. Yep.
It's interesting. I would have to ask. I mean, because I can look at our situation through my own lens and see it one way, and maybe he would see it differently. I don't see a scenario, as odd as it is to say, and I want to choose my words carefully. I don't see this scenario if I worked for my family.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I had just thought I'm climbing a corporate ladder, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna be dinks, and then we're dinks that got married, or dinks, and then we had our first kid. I don't see. I because what do we do? I have a job. You have a job. I either stuck at my job, or we're in a situation like, well, I've got a meeting. Well, I've got a meeting too. I've got to go to Detroit. Well, is this the same weekend that I have to be in Toronto? Like, I don't know how you climb your ladder with the restrictions and the lack of ability to do so, because there's a whole other person who's got a career they're considering.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Correct.
So,
But that goes back to what I'm saying about the younger people, because what you just said is it. They are forced to, everything is very expensive.
mhm.
So my affinity of having a working woman was Claire Huxtable, because
Okay.
I'm thinking, oh, that's what I want. Oh, I want the
Yeah.
hot wife that comes
Yeah.
home and still
Yeah.
cooks and
Yeah.
looks good,
Yeah.
and but they never talked about the real strife of that.
And it doesn't. It's not. What
It's not
people
real.
do.
It
I
was
mean,
TV.
and
It was
even
beautiful.
right.
It
And
was
if she
TV.
comes home, she might have run through Canes, and
Absolutely,
or
yeah.
she's made.
Yeah.
We're doing.
No one
cleaning.
dresses like that and cooks in the kitchen.
No, that's not real. It's not real. It's not real.
Yeah. But I think that now, because it's so expensive, you don't have a choice.
To work or not work.
You have to have two incomes.
I think it just depends still on. I mean, I know people who are home; they make it work.
Yeah.
But
Unless you get away from all this worldly
yeah,
stuff.
if you're not living in the suburbs, or you live in an older home and your cars are older, and
Yeah.
like I think when you're drinking the Kool-Aid, it's probably too expensive to not have two people
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
To not
Yeah.
not have two people
Yeah.
working.
I had a buddy of mine, John Branham. You know John. He posts on Facebook. And he posted a video of how our houses were smaller.
Mm-hmm.
We were closer together.
Mm-hmm.
Our yards were not as expansive, and there was kids in the neighborhood, and like it was really a nostalgic look at where we once were
Mm-hmm.
and how connected. And now these houses are 4,000 square feet, and everybody's in their own rooms with the door closed, and it's just not the same.
No.
But if you want all of that, it does require two people to work, but then you're working to still be apart. Whereas if you say, like my neighbors, the Hollemans, they had a very small 3-bedroom,
Yeah.
1-bath house.
That's my parents were two.
You know.
We was 2-bedroom, 1 bath, had a garage. I mean, but they moved up from their parents, and
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
generation wasn't.
Yeah.
It probably doubled what
Yeah.
my grandparents were
Yeah.
able to do.
And my grandparents had a
Yeah.
3-bedroom house. They had 12 kids.
Or you look at my mom's mom and dad, 9 kids, and we go from 9 to 3. Like my parents had 3 kids, and my mom and dad we were talking about this at the hairdresser, and I think my mom might have had the most kids. Like there's some oddities of like maybe an uncle who had like he just laid fertilized.
Yeah.
Had,
He
like,
was a donor.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like married, lived in a family,
Mm-hmm.
had children. My uncle and my mom were the only 2 that had 3 kids. Everybody else had one or 2 kids.
Or 2.
Mhm.
Yep.
So my mom,
Yep.
it was a big family. My mom and my uncle.
Yeah.
So now here we had 3 kids. I'm the bigger my group. My brother had 2. My sister 0.
Yeah. We did 2, 2, and 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dwight 2, I 2, and Sean had 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we all had what we could afford, but the idea of being so crowded and close is nostalgic, but it wasn't fun when you were living in it.
Is it selfish that you think we had what that played into our decisions, or people played?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
I hated sharing a
Okay.
bedroom.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
it. So now the idea of forcing my kids to share a bedroom as
Yeah.
much as I hated it, no.
We had to Harbor Town. We had to do that a few times, but not. There was a point in which we just did, and I think I kind of pushed it a little with the girls. But that was the last time. Like by the time we moved into Thuron, they were all. It's not even on our radar to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had to lap up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so now, like, no, we have 3rd row SUV, so you don't have to lap
Right,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they still fuss about it.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
I was just wondering what your thoughts were, either personally, because you have daughters,
About following.
and a son, about following,
Yeah.
having a Christ-led
Yeah.
home. with the modern viewpoints that they all have.
I think it's different. I don't even know. Like, I can think of people that are my age that probably, when I look at their life and I'm like, oh, she definitely took a traditional role in that space.
Yeah.
I don't know if our kids look at that and with their parents and value it, or if they're like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Or it looks different. Maybe following looks different. I struggle with it because I don't think you should do so blindly. And I'm old, and we're not talking about their generation. I'm talking about our generation. And I feel like God doesn't want you to be stupid. So I think it does matter, what you do and why you're doing it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my Aunt Sharon on this conversation on our next podcast.
Yeah, I just definitely, or if you're like your other aunt, who, what are you doing if you're running the house half the time?
Right.
Like, does that plug into, should I be still following? I think everything should be prayed about, and I think decisions should be made after they've been prayed over together.
Mm-hmm.
If you have of that core, if you're like that kind of thing in your relationship with someone, then I think it's easier for you both to see where he and haul and who follows who. Now, I believe scripturally, if we really went to the God says, the man is responsible for the home. So if anything that's going awry falls back on you, I don't know what that accountability looks like. Is it in poorness? Is it in, like, I kind of have wondered that before. Like, well, when we talk about, scripture, we talk about, the responsibilities of the home and what the wife is. She's the neck or whatever. He's the head. But if anything goes amok, God's looking at the husband. I don't know if guys really process that.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be
except when it comes to the kids. I always say if you got bad kids, they blame the mom.
Yeah, and that's terrible. Or if your house is junky.
Oh yeah, if you got a dirty house,
like,
that's all on the wife.
That's all on the wife.
All on the wife.
Badass kids.
Yeah. Now, if your yard's a mess, we say, man, what are you doing here?
What's going on? Who's cutting the grass? Right. There's always these little sticklers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Isn't that terrible?
That is bad.
Yeah, I guess when I know, and I've had a handful of times where someone would see our kids and they're like, they would always whisper it to me if we were out at dinner or something, like, your kids are so well behaved.
Yeah, because they're giving the attributes to them. But if you gotta take the attributes, if they bad, they be like, you got some bad A kids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No.
But see, I always say, they don't tell the father, man, you have great kids.
No.
They tell the mom.
Yeah.
So if you got bad kids, you got to tell the mom.
Yeah. Like, your kids are bad.
But if your house is raggedy.
Do you think it's truth to that, though? Do you
yes.
think it's because of the kids?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Because what do fathers say? What did your mom say?
Okay. Sometimes. I think you're right about that. I can think of moments when there's always the kid that manipulates back and forth.
Oh, sure.
The kids are like, if mom already said no, because then everybody's all ticked off, like, I just told them no. That's that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't go to dad.
Yeah. But typically, I'm saying is most dads will say, hey, what did your mom say?
Because they don't want to have to beef with the wife later.
No, they don't. They're like, hey, you handle all that.
Yeah.
Like, if you need me to come in here and be the reinforcer.
Yeah.
But for the most part, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. That's one of those things we talk
know.
about on this podcast.
Right.
Like, hey.
Well, it makes me wonder, though. I'll have a conversation with them, like, what do you think of that? And just pick their brain to see what they think of that. I think she came home, but I don't want to put her on the spot. Like, we have a question for you. But I am curious.
Run up to her with a mic in your hand. Yeah.
We're doing a live interview. We want to know what you kids think about following the man. See what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are going to start having people on soon.
Yeah.
Folks. We're going to go live.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're going to go.
No.
We're going to go live sometimes, but we are going to have video, and we're going to bring people in.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Get some insights and some other perspectives, real life perspectives.
Yeah.
For
absolutely.
sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All righty. Till the next time.
Till the next time.
All right.